My friends, when you look around the world today, it may seem as if greatness is reserved for the few, the rich, the powerful, the famous. But I want you to hear me clearly. Destiny was never designed for a select group. It is planted as a seed in every single one of us. You were born with potential, and the only price required to unlock it is sacrifice. Sacrifice is not loss, it is an investment. It is the farmer who places a seed into the dark soil, not because he enjoys losing it, but because he believes that in due season it will multiply. It is the mother who works late nights, who forgoes her own comfort so that her child might see a brighter tomorrow. It is the student who chooses the library instead of the party, because she sees not where she is, but where she is going. History is not written by those who only dream, it is written by those who endure. Ordinary men and women who gave up a little today so that generations could inherit a better tomorrow. Think of the entrepreneurs who slept on floors, the leaders who were rejected, the dreamers who were laughed at. They all understood one principle: sacrifice is the passport to significance. Let me tell you this: your present pain, your present discipline, your present tears, they are not in vain. The world you desire, the future you imagine, the billion tomorrow will not come by chance, but by choice. And that choice is made today. So I ask you, what are you willing to let go of in order to lay hold of your purpose? What are you prepared to give so that you may gain? Sacrifice is never about what you lose. It is always about what you will one day gain multiplied, pressed down, and running over. My friends, the future is calling. And it is not calling the strongest, nor the smartest, nor the wealthiest. It is calling the ones who are willing to sacrifice. So let us rise with courage. Let us endure with faith. Let us build with patience. Because if you can sacrifice today, you can inherit a billion tomorrows. The best is not behind you, it is ahead of you. Sacrifice today, billion tomorrow. Sacrifice, it's a word that makes many people uncomfortable. When you hear it, you think about pain, about letting go, about losing something that you love. But I want you to shift your perspective today. Sacrifice is not about loss. It is about planting. It is the principle of investment, the law of sowing and reaping. What you give up today is never gone. It is never wasted. It is preparing to return to you multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Look at a farmer. He stands in his field with a bag of seeds. If he eats that seed, it will fill his stomach for a moment. But if he places that seed in the soil, it looks like he's losing it. It disappears under the ground. It goes into darkness, into a place where no one can see it. And yet, in that act of apparent loss, he is actually securing a harvest that will feed him for seasons to come. The seed is never lost. It is invested. That is what sacrifice truly is. Think about the student who refuses the easy road. While others sleep, she stays awake with her books open. While others chase quick pleasures, she invests her hours in learning, in building discipline, in sharpening her mind. Her friends may laugh. They may say she is missing out. But years later, when she stands in the place she dreamed of, when opportunities come searching for her name, the same people will ask how she did it. And her answer will not be talent. It will not be luck. It will be sacrifice. Sacrifice is what separates the dreamers from the doers. Anybody can dream, anybody can talk about success, but sacrifice is the price that filters the serious from the casual. If you want something greater, you must give up something lesser. The child who saves his pocket money instead of spending it all on candy learns the principle that a little pain today builds wealth tomorrow. The athlete who wakes up before sunrise, whose muscles ache, who chooses practice over comfort, is making deposits into his destiny. Do not despise sacrifice, because it is the bridge between where you are and where you are called to be. Every great achievement in human history was built on this principle. Look at the entrepreneurs who worked 2 jobs, who slept on floors, who gave up comfort for vision. Look at leaders who were rejected, mocked, and misunderstood, but still chose the harder path because they saw beyond the present moment. They gave up temporary ease to gain eternal influence. Sacrifice is also the test of faith. It forces you to decide what you truly believe. Do you really believe in your future enough to give up something in your present? Do you believe in your dream enough to deny yourself the comfort of today? If the answer is yes, then sacrifice becomes easier because you no longer see it as pain, you see it as strategy. The farmer does not cry over the seed he buries. He smiles because he knows what is coming. And this is where most people fail. They confuse sacrifice with suffering. But there is a difference. Suffering is pain without purpose. Sacrifice is pain with a promise. When you sacrifice, you are telling your future, I believe in you enough to prepare for you. You are telling destiny, I am willing to pay the price because I know you are worth it. That mindset changes everything. Suddenly, Discipline is not a punishment. It is an investment. Waiting is not wasted time. It is compound interest in your future. Think about your own life. Where are you eating the seed instead of planting it? Where are you choosing the moment instead of the future? Every time you skip discipline, every time you choose comfort over calling, you are consuming what could have multiplied. But every time you sacrifice, every time you choose patience over impulse, every time you give up something small to hold on to something greater, you are building wealth in the unseen. Sacrifice requires trust because the harvest does not appear immediately. The farmer plants and waits. The student studies and waits. The entrepreneur builds and waits. The parent sacrifices and waits. That waiting period is where most people give up because they think the seed has been lost. But if you can endure, if you can keep faith alive, if you can believe that your investment is still working in the dark, then one day the ground will break open. The seed will sprout. The harvest will come, and you will look back and realize it was never a loss. It was the greatest investment you ever made. When you look at history, it is easy to think that greatness belongs to a special breed of people. We look at world leaders, inventors, pioneers, and we tell ourselves they were born different, born lucky, born chosen. But the truth is far more powerful. Every extraordinary future begins with an ordinary person. A person just like you, someone who had no guarantee, no special privilege, no golden pathway laid before them. They were ordinary in birth, but extraordinary in decision. Think about Thomas Edison. He was told by his teachers that he was too stupid to learn anything. Imagine a little boy sitting in a classroom, hearing words that could crush a soul, but instead of letting those words bury him, he chose to rise. He experimented. He failed thousands of times, but he kept going. Out of the ashes of rejection, he created light for the entire world. Not because he was extraordinary at the start, but because he refused to stay ordinary. Consider Oprah Winfrey. Born into poverty, raised in hardship, scarred by rejection. She was not given a stage. She was not handed a microphone. Yet she believed that her voice mattered. She believed that her story had value. And through persistence, sacrifice, and unshakable faith, she built an empire. An ordinary girl with extraordinary belief. What separates ordinary people from extraordinary futures is not talent, not luck, not connections. It is perseverance. It is a sacrifice. It is vision. The janitor who studies at night. The single mother who works 3 jobs to put her child through school. The young man who refuses the easy road and chooses discipline instead of shortcuts. These are the architects of extraordinary futures. Ordinary people become extraordinary when they decide to see beyond what they are and embrace what they could become. They do not allow their present circumstances to define their destiny. They understand that conditions may describe them, but conditions do not decide them. A child born in poverty is not destined to stay in poverty. A person born into obscurity is not condemned to remain unseen. The power of change is hidden in the choices they make daily. Greatness has never been about where you start. It has always been about how you respond. A seed planted in rocky soil must fight harder than one planted in rich earth. But when it breaks through, its roots are deeper, its strength unshakable. Many of the greatest leaders the world has ever seen came from difficult beginnings. They knew hunger, they knew rejection, they knew what it meant to be overlooked. And those very struggles carved strength into their spirit. Do not underestimate your journey because it looks ordinary. The greatest revolutions begin with ordinary men and women who dared to believe. They did not wait for the perfect time. They did not wait for permission. They did not wait for applause. They acted in faith. They acted in vision. They acted in persistence. And because of that, the world remembers their names. Your future is not decided by what people call you today. It is not sealed by where you are right now. It is shaped by what you are willing to sacrifice, by how much you are willing to persevere, by how deeply you believe that tomorrow can be different from today. The boy sweeping floors could one day own the building. The girl serving tables could one day lead the company. The man struggling to pay rent could one day build homes for thousands. Ordinary is not a prison. It is a beginning. Every giant started small. Every empire began with a single decision. Every extraordinary destiny was once hidden inside an ordinary person who dared to believe. And if they could, so can you. Destiny is not an accident. It does not fall out of the sky. It does not knock on your door one morning saying, "Here I am, your future has arrived." Destiny is built. It is crafted brick by brick, decision by decision. And the tool that shapes destiny more than anything else is discipline. Without discipline, dreams remain fantasies. Without discipline, potential remains buried. But with discipline, the impossible becomes inevitable. Discipline is the ability to choose what you want most over what you want now. It is the power to delay gratification, to silence distractions, to keep your eyes fixed on the prize, even when everything around you screams for comfort. Think about the athlete. When the world is sleeping, he is training. When others are indulging, he is restraining. His body aches, his mind grows weary, but he understands a truth that most people never learn. Gold medals are not won in the stadium, they are won in the hours no one sees. Discipline is the invisible work that produces visible glory. Look at the student who dreams of becoming a doctor. While her friends go out, she stays home memorizing anatomy. While others laugh, she studies. The exam room is just the stage where her discipline is revealed. Destiny does not reward those who wish. It rewards those who prepare. And preparation is nothing more than the fruit of discipline. Discipline is also the difference between talent and greatness. Talent will open a door, but discipline will keep you inside the room. Many people are gifted, but not all are disciplined. Talent excites people, but discipline earns respect. Talent may get you applause, but discipline gives you legacy. That is why you see talented people who never reach their potential. They confuse ability with destiny, forgetting that ability without discipline is like a car without fuel. It will not take you anywhere. Think about a farmer again. He cannot control the weather, he cannot control the rain, but he can control when he wakes up, when he plants, when he waters, when he weeds. The discipline of his daily actions secures his harvest. And even if storms come, even if drought strikes, his discipline ensures he has planted enough, cared enough, and invested enough to endure. Discipline does not guarantee a life without challenges, but it guarantees you will outlast the challenge. Discipline is the foundation of leadership. Leaders are not simply people with vision. They are people with control over themselves. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not against an enemy outside, but against the weakness within. Can you say no to yourself? Can you refuse the urge for immediate comfort? Can you stay consistent when no one is watching? That is the mark of true discipline, and that is the secret to destiny. Look at Nelson Mandela. 27 years behind prison walls, and yet he never lost his vision. He disciplined his heart not to hate. He disciplined his mind not to break. He disciplined his spirit to keep believing in freedom. That discipline carried him from a prison cell to the presidency. The world remembers him not only for his vision, but for his self-control, for the inner discipline that kept him steady until destiny opened the door. And here is the truth: discipline feels like sacrifice in the moment, but it feels like freedom in the future. The one who disciplines his finances lives free of debt. The one who disciplines his body lives free of disease. The one who disciplines his time lives free of regret. Discipline may cost you today, but it pays you for a lifetime. Every destiny has a price tag. That price is discipline. If you want to build something lasting, if you want to rise beyond ordinary, you must train yourself to do what is necessary, not what is easy. The road of destiny is not paved with comfort, it is paved with consistency. Small habits repeated daily create great futures. And no matter who you are, no matter where you start, the principle is the same. Discipline will take you where desire alone never can. Vision is one of the most powerful forces inside a human being. It is the picture of a future that does not yet exist. It is the whisper of destiny calling you to rise beyond where you are. But here is the truth: many people do not want to accept vision is expensive. It demands a cost. It will not come cheap. It will not come without sacrifice. Every dream, every calling, every destiny that matters requires you to pay a price. When you see a building standing tall, remember someone paid for it in sweat, in long nights, and discipline. When you admire a successful life, do not just see the glory, see the story. Because hidden behind every accomplishment is a cost someone was willing to pay. The challenge is that most people love the idea of vision, but very few are willing to embrace the price of vision. Think of Abraham Lincoln. Before he became one of the most respected leaders in history, he faced failure after failure. He lost elections, lost businesses, faced personal heartbreaks, but he never gave up on the vision of a united nation. That vision cost him years of rejection, years of pain, years of ridicule, but because he paid the price, the world remembers his name. Consider Malala Yousafzai, just a young girl with a vision for education. But that vision came at a cost. She faced threats, she was attacked, she endured fear, yet she never gave up on the picture she saw in her heart. Today, millions are inspired by her courage. Her story reminds us that vision is not free. It demands courage, sacrifice, and the willingness to suffer for something greater than yourself. Vision requires cost because vision always demands change. You cannot hold on to your vision and still cling to your old habits. You cannot pursue your vision and still live in comfort zones. To walk into what you see, you must let go of what you know. Vision will stretch you, it will inconvenience you, it will force you to step out into the unknown. But every cost is an investment into the future you desire. The student who dreams of becoming a surgeon cannot spend his time like everyone else. While others enjoy free time, he is buried in books, practicing, preparing. That is the cost of his vision. The entrepreneur who dreams of building an empire cannot spend recklessly, cannot waste opportunities. She saves, she reinvests, she sacrifices comfort now for growth tomorrow. That is the cost of her vision. And this is why vision separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Everybody can imagine a future, but not everybody is willing to pay for it. Vision without cost is just fantasy. Vision with cost becomes reality. You cannot walk into destiny with empty hands. You must bring your offering of discipline, patience, faith, and endurance. Vision also demands loneliness. Sometimes the cost of vision is walking alone, because not everyone can see what you see. Friends may not understand why you are so focused. Family may question why you refuse shortcuts. People may laugh at your sacrifices, but that is the price of carrying something bigger than yourself. Noah was mocked when he built the ark, but when the floods came, his vision saved generations. What looked foolish yesterday became wisdom tomorrow. Vision requires cost because vision is heavy. It weighs on your spirit. It pulls on your decisions. It demands priority. If your vision is real, it will not allow you to rest in mediocrity. It will wake you up at night. It will trouble your comfort. It will remind you that you were not born just to survive. You were born to create, to lead, to build, to change. But for that to happen, you must pay the cost. So the question is not whether you have a vision. The question is whether you are willing to pay for it. Because the cost may be patience, it may be rejection, it may be sacrifice. But the reward of paying is stepping into the future you once only imagined. The cost may hurt, but the future it unlocks will heal. The future is not promised to everyone. It is not guaranteed to the strongest, the most talented, or even the most intelligent. The future belongs to those who are willing to pay the price today for the reward of tomorrow. It belongs to the sacrificers, the men and women who are willing to give up comfort, to let go of ease, to endure discipline so that they can inherit a tomorrow greater than anything they see right now. When you look at every breakthrough in history, it was never just talent that shaped it. It was a sacrifice. The scientist who stayed up through countless nights, the leader who endured rejection, the dreamer who refused to quit even after failure, all of them understood one thing: the future is not won by wishes, it is won by sacrifice. Think of Martin Luther King Jr. He could have chosen a quiet life, a safe path, but he saw a vision of freedom and he was willing to sacrifice for it. He sacrificed his comfort, his safety, even his very life, and because of that, generations tasted the fruit of his sacrifice. The world remembers not only his dream, but the price he paid for that dream. The future truly belongs to the sacrificers. Look at Mahatma Gandhi. He gave up wealth, he gave up privilege, he gave up the easy path because he saw a nation free from oppression. His hunger strikes, his marches, his simplicity were not weakness, they were sacrifices. And his sacrifice moved millions, shifted empires, and rewrote the destiny of a nation. It was not his strength that made history bend, it was his willingness to sacrifice. Sacrificers are builders of bridges. They give up today so that others may cross into tomorrow. Parents who deny themselves luxuries to invest in their children's education, young men and women who endure years of training to one day save lives, ordinary workers who rise early and labor hard so that their families can live better. They are the unseen heroes shaping the future. The sacrifices may never make headlines, but they are the reason tomorrow shines brighter than today. The truth is, the future will not bow to the lazy. It will not reward those who choose shortcuts. It will not belong to those who are unwilling to give up anything. The future only respects sacrifice. Those who want reward without cost will always be spectators. Those who embrace sacrifice will always be leaders. And here lies the paradox. Sacrifice often looks like loss in the present, but it is gain in the future. The student who sacrifices sleep for study may look tired today, but she will lead tomorrow. The entrepreneur who sacrifices weekends and comforts may look strange today, but he will be celebrated tomorrow. The athlete who sacrifices parties for practice may look left out today, but he will stand on the podium tomorrow. Sacrifice is the currency of destiny, and only those willing to pay it can afford the future they desire. The future belongs to sacrificers because sacrifice builds resilience, Every time you give up something small for something greater, you are strengthening your character, stretching your endurance, sharpening your vision. Sacrifice prepares you for responsibility. If you cannot say no to yourself now, how will you handle the weight of success later? Sacrifice trains you for the harvest you are believing in. And sacrifice demands faith, because when you let go of something today, you must believe that what is coming tomorrow will be greater. Faith is the soil in which sacrifice grows. Without faith, sacrifice feels like suffering. But with faith, sacrifice becomes investment. That is why the sacrifices are the true visionaries. They see beyond what is to what can be. When you study the lives of those who changed the world, you find a common thread. They all gave up something valuable in exchange for something invaluable. They turned down comfort so they could embrace calling. They traded ease for impact. They sacrificed what was temporary to gain what was eternal. That is why their names echo through time. That is why the world moves forward on the shoulders of sacrificers. My friends, we have seen that sacrifice is not a loss, but an investment. We have seen that ordinary people rise into extraordinary futures. We have seen that discipline is the engine of destiny, that vision always carries a cost, and that the future belongs only to those who are willing to sacrifice. The message is simple, but it is eternal. Your destiny is not locked away in the hands of others. It is hidden in your choices today. Every seed you plant, every comfort you deny, every step of discipline you embrace is shaping the tomorrow you long for. The future is waiting, but it is not waiting for the strongest nor the smartest. It is waiting for the sacrificers. So rise above fear. Rise above excuses. Rise above the temptation of comfort. Embrace the principle that has carried every great leader, every visionary, every world changer through history. Sacrifice today, and you will inherit 1 billion tomorrows. The best is not behind you. The best is still ahead of you. Sacrifice today, 1 billion tomorrow.